I know I've been hard on y'all.
Let's go.
Takes hard work to survive.
Let's go.
Augusta 24 to Freeman 1. You copy?
Ain't nobody pushing the seed through the soil, is there?
No, ma'am.
Are there any others like us?
Ain't nobody else out there like us.
Freeman 1, you copy?
We don't need nothing and nobody. Reload. Work now.
Rest when we're
dead. Yes, come on.
Augusta 24 to Freeman 1. You copy?
Afternoon, Augusta.
You've heard about the attacks by now?
Thought your Union Army was gonna come and take care of it.
They're not. They're dead. All of them.
We could have left. People forget what animals were like.
But what matters now is how we react. Shoot first, don't ask questions. We ain't waiting on no revenge. They gonna end up dead anyway.
You need help? Please.
All we need is right here.
You don't want us to trust anyone because you can't trust anyone else.
We don't need nothing and nobody.
Get back! Please. Please!
Freeman 1 to Augusta 24, do you copy? We found your goddamn animals. Now pick up. Shoot first,
Hey, Shalom.
don't ask.
Call halal YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH has given all praise to the Most High, in the name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to our teachers, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us His truth and sincerity, peace and salutations to the hopeful scattered abroad. Shalom to 144,000. And real quick, I want to go into this clip you just seen. All right, this is a trailer from the movie 40 Acres. Okay, it's a movie called 40 Acres. I watched it the other night. I thought it came out this year, but it actually came out last year, okay, 2024. But it was a very, very, very spiritual movie. I enjoyed it a lot, and I figured I'd do this movie review on it to encourage other brothers and sisters to go watch it, because some scriptures was just coming to mind as I was watching this movie. Right in the beginning, scriptures was popping all through my head, and it just shows you that we almost out of here, man, and this movie gives you an ideal of what it's going to be like in the times we're coming into, where there's going to be no food, because in this movie, a disease had came and all the animals died. Okay, all the animals died, so there was no meat. All right, so the only people who had food were, or they said the most valuable thing became farmland. Okay, the most valuable thing became farmland, and in this particular movie, you had Judah and Gad. Okay, you had Judah, which was, the Jake woman, and then she had the man was Gad. Okay, and then their children was like a mixture of Gad and Judah. I guess they came together or whatever, and they're working together. But that was something spiritual as well too. How it was Judah and Ephraim, basically the northern and the southern kingdom. And then a lot of these marauders, or these people that was trying to come in there to get their food, were Edomites. Okay, so this is symbolic. This shows you that the times we're coming into, it's going to be separated, and it's going to be, scriptures say that, how I can grab that too. A chase row, people going to turn back to their own people. Lord, I can grab that too. But let's grab some precepts, going off of some of the things that I'm gonna start off with the first thing that I thought of when I seen this movie, man. Okay, just the first couple of scenes made me think of this right here instantly. It says 2nd Ezra chapter 2, and I'll go to verse to the verse 26. It says, "As for the servants whom I have given thee," there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. And basically in this movie, you know, you had these marauders who were taking down these farms. Okay, they was eating people. They were cannibals. Okay, so that's coming as well too, Lord, when I can grab that too. But these people are going to turn to cannibalism. It says, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, and this day is coming of trouble and heaviness, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. Okay, and in this movie, people were literally starving. People were, you know, breaking into these farms because they hadn't eaten, and people was eating when they wasn't eating. Okay, so through the Spirit, you know, I peeped that, man. I said, wow, so they have abundance, but the heathen are starving. And here's the point. Here's what brings me to this precept. It says, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. Right. So the heathen are going to envy us for having abundance, for being taken care of, for having food and water and things we need to survive. You know, they are pretty much self-sufficient. Okay, the heathen are going to envy that. It says, and, you know, this shows you, you know, that this is the end of this man's kingdom. It says, my hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. Meaning, you know, your children going to be protected. They're not going to die. Okay. But these other nations, their houses shall be, you know, ravished, their, you know, or, you know, spoiled. Their wives ravished. You know, their children shall be, you know, put to death and stuff. That's not going to happen unto us. That's going to happen to these heathens. All right, let's read this in the NL. I mean, let's read it in the GNT. All right, in the GNT, this is Second Ezra chapter 2 verse 26 in the GNT. It says, so that none of them will be lost. When the time comes, I will hold you responsible for them. Don't worry when the day of trouble and distress comes. Others will cry and mourn, but you will be happy and rich. The other nations will be jealous of you, but you will be able, but they will not be able to harm you. In the first scene, you had these, you know, like 20 marauders come on their farm, and basically they took them all out as a family. Okay, they took them all out, you know. And when you get to the end of the movie, you know, hey, you know, not to give too much of it away, but basically they all were still alive. I was thinking somebody was going to die or something. They all were still alive. Okay, so, you know, they was a little jacked up, beat up a little bit, but the Lord preserved them. And this is how the Lord's going to do for us. It says, I will protect you with my power and save your children from hell. The Lord is going to protect us, man. Okay. Let me jump back up to verse 28. Then other nations will be jealous of you, but they will not be able to harm you, because we're going to have that power with us, man. All right. But these other nations, they're going to be jealous because they're going to be starving while we're going to be eating. Okay. It says, be happy, Jerusalem, for you and your children, because I, the Lord, will rescue you. And we believe the Lord is going to rescue and take care of us in this time when all hell breaks loose, man. Okay. It says, remember your children who are asleep in the graves. I, the Lord Almighty, am merciful. I will bring them out from the place where they lie hidden in the earth until I come. Hold your children close and tell them about my grace and mercy, which are like a spring that never runs dry. Right. So, the grace and mercy of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI is like a spring that never runs dry. Let me grab this real quick though, because this is something else that you know, the movie was about, bro. It was cannibalism going on. Okay. People was, you know, killing each other, and they was eating, you know, the people. All right. Let me do this real quick. Salakia. Let's do this. It says, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 56. It says, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall the Most High do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. The Lord is about to deliver these nations into mischief. And, you know, I went into it with the brothers a few weeks back. We were going into it about how Esau was literally eating us. Okay, well, now that's going to come upon you. They're going to be eating each other. It says, thy children shall die of hunger. Your children are going to starve to death. Okay, then you're going to have to eat your children. Okay, so that you don't starve to death. And thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. People getting shot up, killed. That was another big thing in this movie. Okay. It says, They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh and drink their own blood, for the very hunger and of bread and thirst of water. People gonna be eating each other, man. Okay, literally eating each other. All right, this is the time we're coming into, and the scriptures is warning us about this. The Lord is warning us of this time. Let's go over here. This is Isaiah chapter 65, and I'll jump down to verse 12. Let's go to verse 12. It says, in the NLT, it says, now I will destine you for the sword. All of you will bow down before the executioner. For when I called, he did not answer. When I spake, he did not listen. You deliberately sinned before my eyes. And this is what a lot of our people are doing. They are deliberately sinning. They know you ain't supposed to be doing this. They'll still do it anyways. Okay. Boastfully and proudfully, hard-headed and stiff-necked. It says, and choose to do what you know I despise. Yeah, Jake, choose to continue to do what they know the Lord despises. Like something like eating pork. You ain't got to eat a pork chop, nigga. Okay? Certain things, we battle with, but stop eating pork. That's easy. That should be the first thing. Okay? It says, therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. My servants will eat, but you will starve. My servants will drink, but you will be thirsty. My servants will rejoice, but you will be sad and ashamed. And this is what you see in amongst these other nations, these heathen in this movie. They were sad and ashamed, but we was eating, we was taken care of. And the spiritual, like I said, that it was Judah and Gad, man. Okay, now the woman, she was a little masculine, but it was a Yapasin, because I don't think they share all those children. I think they share some of them, but not all of them. But it was a scene where the son, he was talking to the father kind of crazy, and the mother, kind of got on him, and the father kind of sat back because he didn't have to, but it just shows you the structure and order our people are supposed to have, and we're coming back to that, man. It says, my servants will sing for joy, but you will cry in sorrow and despair. And this is what you've seen too, Jake. People was out there starving, eating each other and stuff, and Jake was, music, family, they was, taken care of. They had to work, to survive, but in that they became closer as a family, man. Okay, so hey, the time we're coming into, the Lord is going to put us in some of these situations where it's going to look like that we're gonna be in despair or catching hell, but the Lord gonna come out for it, gonna come through for us and make a way for us, man. And that's our faith, that's our hope, that's all we got. Okay, that's all we got, man. It's all through the Spirit of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI that we was given this truth, okay, which was a gift, okay, because in that we're going to be protected and safe. Scripture says wisdom and knowledge should be that stability of thy times. We're going to be stable in these times, not only mentally but also physically, man. Okay, we're gonna be mentally and spiritually stable in our minds, but we're also gonna be physically stable. The Lord is gonna take care of us, man. All right, I think I quoted another precept, but I didn't grab it. It escaped me, which I figured it was gonna do, but that's all right. If you remember, if you got any precepts, add to the lesson. I always say that too. Add to the lesson. You drop a precept or a comment's fine too, but really we looking for precepts. Drop a precept and add to the lesson, add to the edification, and we can all grow and build as a body. So hey, man, that's the point. I pray so edifying to the full, like quick in the spirit. Like I said, go watch the movie. I watched it on Look Movies. Type in Look Movies #2.to on Google, and you should be able to watch all these movies that's just coming out or been out, that you can't find on any of these particular platforms. It might be on one of them platforms, but that's just where I watched it at. So you can go in there and find it on there and watch it off of there. And you can watch other movies, but and we watch these movies for spiritual understanding. I can't watch just any movie. I gotta watch a movie that has some type of spiritual lining to it, something that gets your spiritual gears turning, and this movie was one of them. So the Lord will just edifying. I pray I pray this is helpful, and yeah, man, shalom, coming through all about the ball.